Welcome guys to a quick strategy video on snakes and hawks. Let's get into some strategies. If you think this video is helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. These strategies may vary depending on the version you're playing. We're going to cover the 4-player team version. Again, if you're playing a 5-player or a 6-player team, some of these strategies may apply where some of them will not. We will focus on the dealer, as the dealer does have some small advantages. Because the dealer is able to choose their partner and also choose the snake color, we'll see how the dealer can use that to his advantage, and we'll also see how other players can use it to their advantage. So that the video isn't too long, we'll only go over 2 players' hands in depth, player 1 and player 2. As a fun tip, try to play alone and see if the decisions that I make are any different from the decisions that you would make. There is no right and wrong way to play snakes and hawks. I have discarded the cards from player 3 and player 4's hand. Let's take a closer look at player 2. Player 2 has chosen to get rid of the black 12, the green 13 and 14. The reasoning here is because these are the highest cards in player 2's hand. Remember, player 2 is trying not to take any tricks. Player 1 will discard the blue 1, the green 2, and the green 1. Because the discard piles have already been started, player 1 can only discard 1 card into each pile. Strategy note here. This is an advantage to the dealer. The dealer has an opportunity to decide if they want one of those cards back or to get 3 new cards. I'm going to choose to get 3 new cards and pick the pile closest to player 3. Player 1 will choose player 4 as a partner. Player 2 will choose player 3 as a partner. The goal for Team A will be to take all of the snakes. The goal for Team B will be to gather 1 snake and deliver all of the points to Team A. Let's go over strategy for player 1. This is a big decision. After choosing player 4 as a partner, player 1 must decide the snake color. Take a close look at player 1's hand and decide what would you declare as the snake color. I'm going to declare blue. There is no right or wrong. It just depends on how you play the game. The reason I'm choosing blue is because the snake color is a penalty color. You do not gain anything by getting blue cards. However, I need big cards in order to capture the blue snake. That's why I'm choosing blue. Play starts to the left. Player 2 will start. Let's talk strategy here for player 2. Player 2 does not want to take any tricks. So, most people would think start off with a low number. However, I believe that's not the best strategy. Because player 2 has 2 snakes, player 2 does not have to worry about collecting the snake of that same color. So, it is better to play the black 14 knowing that there is no black snake out there to give to player 2. Player 2 starts with black 14. Player 3 only has 1 black, plays the black 6. Player 4 plays the black 15, winning the trick. And because the Team A has already won the trick, player 1, strategy note, will play the black hawk, giving themselves -3 on the score. Player 4 starts with the red 5. Now, again, this is a random choice because we're only focused on player 1 and player 2's hand. Here is a very important point in the game. Player 1 can choose to play the red 7, the red 10, or the red 15. Player 2 will play the red snake because the snake is already under the 5 and player 2 does not want to get any points. If player 1 plays the red 7 and player 2 plays the red snake, player 3 is able to beat the red 7 and giving their team one snake, ruining any chances for player 1 ever getting all the snakes. Player 1 will play the red 15 to make sure that the team is able to win the trick. Player 2 will now play the red snake, delivering the points to Team A. Player 3 will play the red 9. Player 1 has one of 3 snakes. Now, player 1 needs to decide what card to play next. Because player 1 does not have any 15s, it may not be in player 1's best interest to start with a different color. Player 1 knows that the red snake is gone, so they can play a red card without any fear of losing a snake. Player 2 will play the red 12. It's okay to win at this point because there is no penalty for collecting red cards. Player 3, red 14, will win this book and start the next play. Player 3 starts with a green 6. Player 4 wins the trick with a green 11. Player 1 has no strategy here as the green cards are not very high. Player 2 only has one green and also does not have any strategy for this play. Player 4 starts with the green 12. Player 1 has no strategy here, as player 1 only has one green card, the green 4. Player 2 has a lot of strategy on this play. Player 2 can choose to play any card from their hand. Because at the beginning we said player 2 will try not to gain any points, player 2 will give out the black snake. We're not focused on player 3, but player 3 will have the opportunity to either gather the snake for their team or play off, leaving Team A with more points. A random decision was chosen and player 3 has played the green 10. Player 4 wins the trick and now has 2 snakes. Player 4 will stick with the green 13. Player 1 has no green cards and therefore has no strategy here. Player 1 also has no snakes or hawks to consider. Knowing that the 15 and 14 has not been played, player 1 can only assume where these cards lie. Player 1 would not play a blue card because blue cards are penalty points. Player 1 will choose to play the red 7. Player 2 chooses to play the black 11, as that is the highest card in player 2's hand. Player 3 chooses to play the green 14 and will win the trick. I will point out player 2 has chosen to play the black 11 because player 2 is playing to avoid winning any tricks. Player 3 starts with a red 4. Random play. Player 4 plays a red 13. Player 1, not having any reds, wants to keep the high cards. The higher cards will lead to a better chance of gathering all of the snakes. Player 1 plays a black 7. Player 2 does not want to play the red hawk, as hawks are minus points. So player 2 will play the red 11. Player 4 wins the trick. Player 4 has chosen to play the black 5. This increases the chances of player 1 actually taking all of the snakes, as player 1 only has 2 colors. Player 1 will choose to play the black 13. Player 2 plays the black 4. Let's now focus on player 3. Player 1 will win this trick and have 1 penalty point with the blue 15. Maybe you didn't see it as fast. Let me play it out just a little for you. Player 1 plays the black 12. Player 2 will play the black 2. Player 3 can play any card. Given him points, probably plays the blue 6. Or could play any other card. It really doesn't matter at this point. Player 4 will do what a good partner will do and give their team a snake. Note, at this point, player 1 will win this trick and player 1 will play again first. Player 1 is going to play the black 10, which is the highest card. Player 4 will do the same thing and give their team the blue snake, capturing all of the snakes. There's the play that will give Team A all 4 snakes. Go back in the video and see how you would have done it differently. I think it's extremely important that all cards matter in this game. You want to give away the snakes because the snakes are penalty points. However, you also want to try to gain the snakes. Every play is extremely important. If you want to see how the hand could have been done differently, try our next strategy video. You'll see the same cards being played, and yet the outcome is completely different.